A major mall in downtown San Francisco is being turned over to lenders.
That's right. Westfield says it will no longer operate the shopping center, citing a decrease in shoppers, occupancy and sales. You see, since 2019, nearly half of the major retailers at this mall have closed their doors. And it aligns with a greater trend across the nation, showing an increase in the number of vacant commercial real estate spaces, with nearly 1/5 currently sitting empty.
Now, for more on this, we're bringing in Albert Yoon. He's a real estate editor at Insider. Albert, first of all, help us to understand what is happening in this case. Yeah. Is Westfield just giving up on equity that they have in these properties? Are they taking a loss on this? What is causing these closures, and how does it actually transpire?
Well, I mean, it will most certainly be taking a loss on that property. I mean, just by defaulting on a multi-$100 million loan, that's basically giving up all its equity in the property, I think. But it's all stemming from what's happened during the pandemic. I mean, this is no surprise to anybody that office workers have been slow to come back, and San Francisco is, a city where they've been among the slowest to come back. And San Francisco is also a place where, like New York, it's got long commutes and people don't want to go into the office, and it's just a big domino effect, really. And what's really striking about this is that the speed at which these big real estate owners are giving up these properties. We've seen this happening with office buildings. Okay, no surprise there. But then earlier this month, a big owner of hotels and resorts gave up 2 big hotels on Union Square, about a block from the Westfield city center that Westfield just gave up. So, I mean, just one thing after another. It doesn't look good for San Francisco right now.
And Albert, I want to give our viewers the opportunity to go kind of beyond just the headlines, though, because on one side, you have companies saying, oh, crime's out of control in San Francisco. What are we to do but leave our financial obligations? But on the other side, lots of corporations are dealing with this commercial real estate loss. No one's in the office. Fewer people are spending time downtown. I'm wondering if companies now see it as convenient to walk away from financial agreements because the damage from that may be less than the damage from sitting on sinking assets. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, that's exactly right, Errol. I covered the subprime mortgage crisis in residential real estate 15 years ago, and there was a term then called strategic default. If you were underwater from your house, then it was easier for you to just hand it back to the bank, and we all saw what happened in that crisis. Well, this time it's happening in commercial real estate, with much bigger numbers for any individual transaction.
But you do see a connection in the strategy behind saying it's crime, but in reality, on the books, it's just easier to walk away or less damaging.
Well, I mean, a lot of this does come down to sort of corporate speak. I mean, crime is often alluded to as one of the reasons. It was alluded to, for instance, when Park Hotels and Resorts gave up the Hilton and the Park 55 there on Union Square. They didn't mention crime; they mentioned "quote unquote" street conditions. But we know they're not talking about the quality of the pavement around Union Square. I mean, we know what they're talking about. These hotels are right next to. It's called the Tenderloin District in San Francisco, which is, a nice way to put it is it's a gritty neighborhood. But the people in commercial real estate that I speak to, at least, the investors side, I mean, they're continuously referring to the growing crime in the area. And I was just reading some other stories about that, about just how bad the crime is. And it's debatable. But we're in the age of social media. Things get amplified. We saw Elon Musk tweeting about the horrific nature of San Francisco crime after the stabbing death of the tech executive Bob Lee in April. So I see your point, Errol, but it's a perception that isn't going away, the crime bit.
Well, really important context historically and otherwise that you provided, Albert. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Okay, thank you.